You were raised on rules. Be good, be fair, do the right thing, even when it hurts, even when it costs you everything. And maybe it worked for a while, until you got into the real world and watched the liars get promoted, the manipulators rise, the cold-hearted win. Why? Because the rules you live by were written to control you, not to protect you. Niccolò Machiavelli saw it centuries ago. He didn't treat morality as sacred. He saw it as a tool, a weapon, useful only when it gives you leverage. Blind morality? That's not noble. That's bait. And in a world that thrives on perception, power, and pressure, the person who plays by the rules gets played. A man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must inevitably come to ruin among so many who are not good. Machiavelli, the prince. If that stings, it should. Because here's the brutal truth. The people who taught you to always do the right thing, they don't follow that advice. Not when it threatens their position. Not when there's power at stake. They expect you to be predictable so they can stay in control. That ends now. In the corporate boardroom, the overly honest employee becomes the fall guy, while the executive who pretends to care climbs the ladder. In relationships, the one who never betrays ends up carrying the weight, while the other keeps options in the shadows. In politics, the leader who appears virtuous wins the crowd, while pulling strings in the dark. Because in every arena of life, what you appear to be matters more than what you are. And those who master that illusion, they win. So how do you survive in that world? Not by abandoning morality, but by controlling it. Your morality must be a switchblade, not a straitjacket. Use loyalty to build trust, but cut it the moment it becomes leverage against you. Show kindness when it earns you allies. Withdraw it when it becomes expectation. Be generous, strategically, not out of obligation. Because when your enemies know your values are fixed, they don't respect you, they use you. You've seen it. The kind friend who gets exploited, the loyal partner who's left behind, the forgiving one who keeps being betrayed. That's not virtue, that's predictability. And the predictable are always at the mercy of the strategic. So don't wear your morals like armor. Wear them like a mask. Let them see compassion until it's time to strike. Let them hear integrity while you play the long game. Because the world doesn't reward goodness. It rewards outcomes. So here's your shift. Stop asking, is this the right thing to do? Start asking, does this move get me closer to power or take me further from it? That's how Machiavelli thought. That's how every major power player thinks. And that's how you must begin to think. Because at the top, there is no universal law. Only this. Did you win? Did you last? Did they remember your name? And those who get remembered? They don't always play fair, but they play smart. Let the world praise purity. You'll take the throne. How morality is weaponized against you. You walk into the room thinking you're safe because you've done everything right. You've been honest, loyal, kind. But everyone else, they're watching your every move, not to admire you, to calculate you. Because the moment you say, I'd never lie, I could never betray someone. I always treat people how I want to be treated. You didn't reveal your strength. You handed them your strategy guide. To Machiavelli, that's not virtue. That's a vulnerability report with a cover letter. In a high-stakes world, morals don't make you safe. They make you predictable. And the predictable, they don't just lose. They get played. Your enemy doesn't need to defeat you. They just need to place you in a situation where your morality traps you. Too loyal to leave a sinking team. Too honest to protect your own secrets. Too kind to fight back when they cut deep. And while you're stuck trying to be the bigger person, they're climbing over your back. Here's the shift. Never make your values visible. The more readable you are, the easier you are to manipulate. But when they don't know your lines, when they can't predict where you'll bend or where you'll snap, they back off. Be adaptable, be fluid, capable of speaking the language of virtue while executing with strategy. Look moral when it matters. Move mercilessly when it counts. Because in the real world, power doesn't belong to the righteous. It belongs to the unreadable, the ones who leave people guessing, the ones who smile while watching the battlefield from above. The illusion of morality, you've seen it. The honest man, fired for speaking truth in a room full of lies. The loyal woman, abandoned the moment she's no longer useful. The generous friend, drained by the very people they tried to uplift. Every time it stings, because you were taught, do the right thing, and good things will follow. But in reality, morality without power makes you prey. Morals sound noble on paper, but in the real world, they're currency, and if you can't enforce them, they hold no value. You become a target, an easy one. That's why Machiavelli warned, it is better to appear moral than to be moral, because appearance builds trust, and the absence of real morality. It gives you freedom. When you only look virtuous, you gain access, allies, opportunities. But behind that mask, you move freely, without being bound. So when it comes down to two brutal choices, being seen as cruel or being crushed by kindness, choose cruelty without flinching, not because you want to hurt, but because it's tactical. In a game of survival, kindness without leverage is suicide, and morality without teeth is just theater. Power first, principles second, because if you lead with virtue before you've secured strength, that virtue becomes a liability, and your enemies, they'll weaponize your goodness until it destroys you. Part 3. Morality as a trap. You've been there, trying to reason with someone toxic, telling yourself, if I'm just kind enough, they'll understand. But they don't. They never do. Because kindness without leverage isn't strength. It's bait. That's not morality. That's feeding wolves your hands and praying they turn into lambs. Most of the morals you were raised with, they weren't built to make you powerful. They were built to make you obedient. Turn the other cheek. Don't judge. Forgive and forget. Don't seek revenge. These aren't universal truths. They're behavioral chains dressed up as virtues. And Machiavelli, he saw straight through it. The Prince wasn't written for the peasants. It was a blueprint for rulers. He never told them to be kind. He told them to look kind, to weaponize the illusion. A prince must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. In other words, be sharp, be dangerous, but wear a mask of gentleness until it's time to strike. So when someone tries to guilt you into submission, when they frame ethics as obligation, ask yourself, is this about what's right or about keeping me small? Most of the time, that question will rip the disguise off the entire game. Guilt is a tool. Morality is a script. And those who learn to rewrite both stop playing the part and start running the stage. The art of moral manipulation. A skilled manipulator won't attack your morality. They'll redirect it. They'll appeal to your compassion to avoid consequences. They'll appeal to your loyalty to keep you trapped. They'll appeal to your honesty to extract your secrets. They'll appeal to your forgiveness so they can betray you again. And you'll think you're rising above. But in truth, you're walking into the exact trap they designed, using your own values as the bait. Machiavelli called this being ruled by the ghost of your own reputation. So what's the solution? Make every value a choice, not a reflex. Compassion? when there's no cost. Loyalty for those who'd bleed for you. Forgiveness only for the truly remorseful. Never give virtue for free. Make them earn it through suffering. The strategy of appearance. Machiavelli didn't hate morals. He understood. They're luxury items meant for those who already hold power, not for those still trying to claim it. Lead with honesty, kindness, or loyalty in a world of deception. You will be broken, then forgotten. Power respects only one thing: results. Appear good to disarm the weak. Act in cold strategy to win the game. The greatest manipulators. They look pure. They sound trustworthy. They seem harmless. Until it's too late. Control the narrative. In the modern world, perception is power. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Machiavelli. So play your role. Outrage when others lie, even if you lie better. Praise fairness while tipping the scales. Comfort the hurting while extracting their weakness. It's not hypocrisy. It's survival. Control your face before you control your fate. Reframing guilt. When someone says, "How could you do that?" That's not right. They're not arguing truth. They're enforcing control. What most do: explain, justify, apologize. What Machiavelli would do: reframe the conversation. I did what was necessary. You're talking about ideals. I'm talking about results. That's your morality, not mine. Don't prove you're good. Make their definition of good irrelevant. Weaponize the mask. Let them see your morality, but only when it serves you. Be the saint until you become the shadow. Be the lamb until they stop watching. Then strike. People relax around boundaries. They assume you're safe. That's when the predator inside you emerges. Strategic moral delay. Let them think you're guided by ethics until it no longer suits you. This is not betrayal for chaos's sake. It's precision ruthlessness. You forgive. Then cut them off when they least expect it. You help. Then retreat, holding exactly what you came for. Let your mercy feel earned. Let your morality feel rare. Because only those who could destroy, but choose not to, inspire true fear and awe. Final act. The Machiavellian code of ethical power. Your morality should serve you, not enslave you. Values that don't enhance your survival, your influence, your goals. Aren't values, they're obstacles. The most feared man is not cruel. He is capable of cruelty. So customize your ethics to the moment. Truth when it helps. Lies when they prevent war. Kindness to win loyalty. Fair to guarantee control. Don't ask, "Is this right?" Ask, "Will this bring me closer to power?" In the end, history doesn't remember the righteous. It remembers the ruthless who played the righteous better than anyone else. You weren't born to be a martyr. You were born to be a monarch. Let them keep their purity. You'll take the throne. To truly understand how to master these profound principles of power and influence in any situation, delve into Machiavelli's timeless and groundbreaking work, The Prince. Find the link to acquire your copy in the description below. If you see me again, well, congratulations. It means you're starting to think differently. It means you're paying attention. And if that's the case, you already know what to do next. Because in a world full of manipulation, silence, and strategy, you don't follow the noise, you follow the power.